Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my best colleague, Dr. Haris Gunawan. So I am an optimistic person. So in one side, there is negative. Of course, in the other hand, there is a positive one. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are around the world. Ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi Bapak dan Ibu yang saya hormati. Good morning in West Indonesian time. Of course, in Japan time, I have to say good afternoon. Minasama konnichiwa. Hajime maste. Hadi Susilo Arifin tomosimasu. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. So I am Hadi Susilo Arifin from IPB University. Please may I share screen for you all. Yeah, by this opportunity, I would like to share you my presentation with the title is the positive impact of COVID-19 in environmental aspect. So this is actually some review from scientific papers, magazine, and newspaper. And in the end of this presentation, I will present my experiences and the research that has been conducted. Talking the positive impact and COVID-19 pandemic, I remember on the Earth Day, which commemorated every April 22nd, feels different last year in 2020 due to the corona COVID-19 virus outbreaks. The cessation of most industrial activities reduced air pollution level. In fact, satellite imagery reveal a significant drop in the global level in nitrogen dioxide, the gas produced from car engine and commercial manufacturing plant that is the cause of poor air quality in many major cities. Like nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide emission have also been reduced during the COVID-19 pandemic. When economic activity stop, carbon dioxide emission decrease. That the last time that happened when during the 2008 till 2009 crisis of financial in China, carbon dioxide emission fell by about 25% when the lockdown was implemented according to Carbon Brief. However, this change is only the last, only the temporary. And the third one, some animals tend to arise in the absence of human. Less vehicle on the road made small creatures such as hedgehogs emerge from hibernation. And conservationists hope that a COVID-19 pandemic will help curb the global wildlife trade, which is causing the extinction of a number of species. And the water will flow clear, that the water drains is clear due to the shortly after Italy imposed the lockdown, a clear photo of Venice Canal with spread around the world. And with cruise ship resting for a while, the ocean also experienced reduced noise pollution, which reduce stress level for marine creature and such as whales, migration calmer. And talking about the environment, it is an ecosystem. It's very important. An ecological system in which all organisms or communities in area or region or landscape influence each other with their physical environment. Therefore, like here, we can see the flow of energy led to a clear definition of food structure, biotic diversity, and material cycles in the system. And by this slide, I would like to refer the carrying capacity. This is a very important. Biodiversity conservation in object related to environmental services, which concern to watershed function, like greenhouse gas emission and also landscape beautification. In other words, rich biodiversity of flora and fauna related to carbon storage in trees and soil. And high biodiversity such as an agroforestry forms and land use reduce footprint intensity by higher total bioproductivity. So biocapacity as supply is 1.8 hectare per person. On the other side, in ecological footprint as a demand is 2.2 hectare per person. Therefore, there is overshoot or gaps between supply and demand. The unity of space with all the object and condition of living things, including human and behaviors, or we can say man and culture, that carry out the life and welfare of human and other living things. In the other word, environment consists elements of abiotic such as soil, air, and water, and biotics, that is flora, fauna, also human and culture. And the relationship between human and their environment is not only determined by the types and number of living and inanimate objects from the natural environment, but also by human culture itself. Talking about natural resources, the condition of the natural environment which has value to meet human need. And right here, I would like to show you the element of the natural environment. As I mentioned in previous slide, that both physical, it means abiotic, and biological, it means biotic, that are needed by humans to meet their needs and improve their welfare. And characteristic of natural resources, physical resources such as land, water, and air, biological resources, for instance, forest, grassland, agriculture crops, plantation, mangrove, wildlife, and fish population, and etc. And based on the ecosystem, we may determine those natural resources consist of terrestrial ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem, and aerial ecosystem. And COVID-19 itself is in the air and is contagious and enters the human body through various ways, including from the droplet. And one of the positive impact of the COVID-19 pandemic is the increase in better air quality. We can see from this image, lockdown reduced pollution in the Delhi temporarily, but long-term relief need policy changes, I think. Delhi air pollution trajectory has followed trends across the world, and nitrogen dioxide level in the country affected by COVID-19 fell by 60% in early 2020, but have since been rising as lockdown eased. And in China itself, nitrogen dioxide concentration fell by 30% in March 2020, but have now returned to useful level. So carbon dioxide emission have fluctuated similarly. And ladies and gentlemen, in Jakarta, in particularly, in several cities in Indonesia, large-scale social restriction or PSBB have started right on March 16, 2020. Result of the large-scale social restriction, PSBB, and significantly reduce vehicle movement, reduce operating hours, industrial activities is shown as we can see through the picture. Up and down left picture, Kolong Semanggi and straight in the front of Sudirman Railway Station, Jakarta, it's shown the traffic condition before and after dawn, after lockdown is quite different. And the middle and the right picture show us New Year night in 2020 compare in 2021 in Simpang Tamrin, also quite different condition. And DKI Jakarta Governor Anies Baswedan said the large-scale social restriction had a positive impact on air quality in the capital city. He said the sky in Jakarta had turned bright blue due to reduced air pollution by PSBB. And PSBB has made many people adopt a new lifestyle, including using bicycle as environmentally friendly means of transportation. The COVID-19 pandemic provide hope for a better environment. And according the DKI Jakarta Provincial Transportation Agency, previously recorded the decrease in motorized vehicle traffic and increase in cycle traffic during the week of implementation of the PSBB. And still on positive impact on better air quality, reduce emission, better quality aquatic ecosystem, even the life of wild animal. So this figure compare the environmental quality condition of the aquatic or marine ecosystem and air which are better during the presence of PSBB or PMKM compared to previous period. So this is the challenges for all of us, that carrying capacity of the environment, both on land, in water, and in the air has limitation. Therefore, with the stimulus of the COVID-19 pandemic, it should be a lesson learned for all of us to take positive things. And in the right figure, we can compare in the Lebaran session in 2017. Yeah, we can see in the Lebaran, such as in Japan, like Obong or Osogatsu, or in the Western country, we know the Thanksgiving, everybody back to the hometown, and capital city of Jakarta more clear, nice sky, due to the emission also reduced in that time. And now, sorry. Yeah, based on the result of the potential for recovery of coral reef ecosystem, positive impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the environment, is known that the lockdown policy or policy of limiting human activities, PSBB or PMKM during the COVID-19 pandemic, and the reduction of various economic activities, including several industrial sector, provide the potential for the recovery of coral reef ecosystem. And recovery of coral reef ecosystem will occur when pressure due to human activity is limited. And the COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted the tourism industry, of course, including marine tourism on diving tourism, like as in the image in the right side. But there is a positive impact, that is marine activities and diving have stopped, so that marine life and coral reef can breathe and grow without disturbance. Ladies and gentlemen, so based on the positive impact of COVID-19 pandemic, let's take a look at the challenges and opportunity that exists for all us, especially for environmental researchers. For myself, environmental researchers have challenges to carry out the environmental observation and studies of health aspects such as community health, as well as the socio-cultural environment due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So for the example, IPB, ITB, UGM, and UNER have Indonesian Collaborative Research 2021, And for this year, a total of 26 multi-year research titles are funded for 3 years, 2021 until 2023 research program. And right here, regarding the spread of disease, especially virus, a good environment, habitat for living things must be good. One of it, we have to go to eco-village and eco-cities. So from eco to sustainable city, there are some activities indicator. For example, when we consider to the sustainable development goals, then we know that goal 11 is how the impact of sustainable cities and communities. An urban ecosystem with ecological sound, minimizing the negative impact of development on the environment and reduction of ecological footprint, waste management and utilization. And of course, the goal of the SDGs that is good health and well-being in number 3. So it's very important to reach sustainable village and sustainable cities. And right here, actually, what is an eco-city? So this is the challenges for the future. Actually, eco-city established some decade previously, but eco-cities is a city built of the principle of living within the means of the environment. However, eco-city also have the intention of stimulating economic growth, reducing poverty, organizing city to have higher population density, and therefore higher efficiency and improving health. The holistic concept of eco-city has a balanced relationship between urban and the rural in order to support the sustainable development city. And right here, let's look at the rural scale. How we can achieve the eco-village pattern by making sustainable spatial planning in rural landscape. I think the result in the 2007, so I got some research under management by GSPS in RUBRD program, can be the basis for spatial planning by creating zone 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So from building, constructed building in the 0 zone, pekarangan, that is the home garden that surrounding the house, agriculture land, whether dry land or paddy field, we call it sawah, mixed garden, kebun campuran, forest garden, or talun, and finally forest. The availability of green space or blue open space will create a healthy environment, provide adequate carrying capacity. And talking about the green and blue network between main and satellite city is very important to increase the carrying capacity of the environment. So this is our research in megacity in Jabodetabek, Jakarta, Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, Bekasi, Puncak, and Cianjur, plus Sukabumi. So in the future, as I have said, the holistic concept of eco-city has balanced relationship between the urban and the rural to reach sustainable development goal. So in principle, how ecosystem services, green opens and blue open space connected to each other to function as ecosystem or environmental services. And right here, ladies and gentlemen, all participants, now I would like to show you opportunity for environmental researchers with the COVID-19 pandemic. So early this year, I and some fellows researcher for Autonomous University in Indonesia, IPB, ITB, UGM, and UNAIR, submitted a research proposal entitled Pekarangan Landscape Management Strategy as an effort to increase community immunity during the COVID-19 pandemic. So presented on 5 February this year and accepted. Fortunately accepted, would be funded for multi-years, about 3 years. And then since this month, we have been conducting research collaboration among 9 researchers from 4 universities, and this is very good as a positive impact of the pandemic COVID-19. And increasing for the role of the pekarangan to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic, this study aimed for to mapping the use of pekarangan during the COVID-19 pandemic. The second one, to plan a pekarangan landscape management strategy. The third, to disseminate the use of plant valuable for health and effort to increase body immunity. Of course, we don't have any research result, but this is roadmap is from long ago. And then now we refresh to facing the pandemic COVID-19. We have been holding the research in 4 research sites, that is in Cisadane, Citarum, Kaliprogo, and Kalibrantas watershed. In each watershed, representative rural and urban landscape with pekarangan will be determined, which suggests a low correlation with the incidence of COVID-19 patient cases. And by this figure, the research, of course, related to the environment and landscape ecology has both opportunity and challenges for the development and management of open space landscape. Therefore, in the second and the third year, there will be scaling up of pekarangan from family scale to public space, such as community park, city park, as well as the urban forest. So I think with the COVID-19 pandemic, there was lockdown or partially lockdown. So how to activities on landscape, providing the outdoor versus partially to be indoor spaces, and how to do activities on landscape hold in open air, which was previously more common in air-conditioned room. And how about the activities on landscape, large landscape versus a limited area. So this can be done for tourism, recreation, gathering, activities in public or private open space. And one on the pekarangan scale, a productive landscape produce a variety food, vegetable, fruit, medicine plant, herbs, including places for sunbathing and exercise for sport grown. So good solar radiation has good photosynthetic quality. I think WFH or work from home activities make the pekarangan more productive. I mean, this is the positive impact of COVID-19. And here, variety of healthy food are produced from my own pekarangan products, especially after pandemic COVID-19. Most of the time we spend work at home and we have more active in gardening. And right here, this is an image of the practice of scaling up from pekarangan to community gardens. During the COVID-19 pandemic, people need to have a gathering, but still keep physical and social distancing. So here you can find the happiness. The community happiness can increase people immunity. And this is finally on macro scale in the city, such as city park, urban forest, they can also become producing productive landscape. Various meetings can be held in this public open space, for example, for garden parties, for exercise in the sport grown, as well as to become habitat for biodiversity conservation. That's all. Thank you for all your attention. Terima kasih. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Wabillahi taufik wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.